Hi everyone, we'll start in just a minute while everyone's logging in. It's kind of the mad dash between Zooms, isn't it? All right, while everyone's logging in, thank you for coming. Thank you for your children. Thank you for your patients, their perseverance. They're really doing great. My name is Mrs. Doupe, I'm sorry. I'm their honors biology teacher. Anyway, this class is wonderful. I adore them already. I wish that I could see them. I wish we could do some of the activities we would normally do, but we're making the best of it, and they are absolutely hanging in there, and it's wonderful. Behind me, you can see my virtual, I teach from the classroom every day, so if you ever walk behind your student, you should see this. I'm not actually there, but that is my virtual background right now. But it is nice being in the classroom because I have access to my materials, all of my equipment, and I can get out of the house because I have a couple of kids at home who are just like yours, on Zoom all day with their teachers. So I'm going to be sharing my screen with you. And as mentioned in my email, I would love to take questions, but we just don't have time tonight. However, I would love an email from you later. If I get a bunch of the same questions, I will send out a mass parent email sort of with like frequently asked questions and some answers to make sure everyone gets the same information. All right. So again, please remember, email me anytime. I usually get back to people relatively quickly. So here goes. Again, welcome. My name is Mrs. Doupe. I am your son or daughter's honors biology teacher this year. Just a little bit about me. I went to UC Berkeley, and I have my bachelor's in molecular and cell biology with an emphasis on immunology. I got my master's in public health at UCLA, and my major there was epidemiology, which we've heard a lot about in the past 6 months, but that was a long time ago, so I'm no longer an expert. This is my 11th year as a Saxon, the best school in Torrance, maybe the best school in California or the world, I'm not sure. I never want to leave. I love it there. I've started in middle school, so it's my 14th year as an educator. And at North, I've taught the following classes. So I am the current AP biology teacher. And for those of you that don't know, that's the college level biology, which I truly hope that your child takes in a couple years. They need to take chemistry first, but then they can come back to me, which hopefully, because they're lovely children, and they can come back and take AP bio, usually as a junior, maybe as a senior. I also used to teach chemistry. I've taught AP environmental science, earth science, regular biology. So I've done a lot. I have a picture of my family on there only because I wanted to point out that I'm in a unique situation this year because my kids are your kids. My daughter is a freshman at an inferior Torrance school. I mean, it's fine, but it's not as good as North, you know, so oh well. But she is in honors bio, and my son is a junior, and he is taking AP bio. So lucky kids, they are taking the classes that I teach. So you can imagine their delight at every dinner conversation that I like to steer towards biology topics. So anyway, my reason for telling you that is because I am sympathizing and empathizing with you. This is not the freshman year I wanted for my daughter, but we're getting through it. And I know that sophomore year will be better. So I do have a lot of understanding for the kids if they get stressed out, if they get a little flustered with technical issues and that sort of thing, because we're dealing with the same thing in our house. Here's the curriculum for Honors Bio at North. It is an honors class, so we do go a little more in depth than, or a lot more in depth than the regular class. However, we cover the same topics, which are part of NGSH, the Next Generation Science Standards. So right now we're still in Unit 1, Ecosystems and Interactions. Next, we'll do photosynthesis and respiration, then onto structure, function, and growth. So that's more at the organismal level, like whole organisms. Unit 4 is inheritance, so that's really genetics. That's generally their favorite topic. Unit 5 is evolution, pretty much natural selection, common ancestry. And then finally, we end with ecosystem stability and response. So that's sort of talking about when we disturb a system, that might be the climate. We also might just be talking about local ecosystems when we take away one natural resource or something like that. So we'll talk about how we try to maintain balance. Our course structure, all the teachers thought at first that 75-minute classes sounded kind of long, but we have run out of time every day. It is jam-packed, it flies by, at least for me. If you are eavesdropping or kind of looking over the shoulder of your student, you should see them answer a daily attendance question every day. I'm just making sure everyone's there. And usually it's a review of something or a preview of something we're going to learn. They are having some quizzes, and some of those are reading quizzes. I have a picture of the new book right there. In fact, they have a reading quiz tomorrow. These are very short quizzes, but we would like them interacting with the book. It's great to get some practice reading and taking notes and getting information from different sources. We also do some interactive responses. Sometimes I ask for things to be placed in the chat. Other times we use something called Pear Deck, so I can get sort of a live response and monitor where the students are. I occasionally lecture because, as you can tell, I enjoy talking. And then I'm trying to have them collaborate. One of the best things about science classes is the activities and collaboration that students get to do. And we're missing that this year. So we're trying to simulate it. Today they were working with a partner on basically a slide. It was on a new sort of platform. But I want them talking about what they're learning and working with others. So we're trying to mix up the groups, meet some new friends, and continue to do the activities we normally would have done in the classroom. You should also see some different platforms that they're using. Daily, they should be on Google Classroom. That's where I'm posting most of the information. That's where they turn in a majority of their assignments. And that's where they find their daily login, their daily attendance question. We're also using Pear Deck, which is kind of an interactive presentation tool, so I can ask them a question and then see the data roll in live. They'll respond to me via that. And then I sort of know where they stand if we need to go back and cover something again, or if everyone gets it and we can move forward. Flipgrid is a fun video response thing that they'll end up doing. So they record a quick video explanation. And finally, gizmos. As I mentioned, labs are the main thing we are missing in this situation. However, the district was kind enough to purchase a subscription to this pretty cool simulation program. So we've been using that, and we already, in fact, did use that. You may or may not have seen your student working on this. They were manipulating the number of bears or mushrooms or deer in this ecosystem, and we were seeing how that impacted the overall ecosystem. So again, it's not an actual hands-on lab, but it's as close as we can come for now, and it's working relatively well. They gather data. That's a big part of science. They analyze their data, and it's a little more enjoyable than just looking up vocabulary words. So it was a good time. You also may have seen, and if you didn't, ask them to show you. They did a great job. We talked about the root words, like roots, Latin and Greek roots are often used in science terms. So when we can break down those terms and get to the roots, it's sometimes easier to decipher. So anyway, they had to create a kind of funny organism using some of the different terms, and they did a wonderful job. This is just a sampling of some of the great ones, but if they didn't show you, ask to see it. It would be fun dinner conversation. So in terms of grading, formative assessments are approximately 30%. By that, I mean things we do during the unit. That may be a quiz, it may be homework or classwork. The labs, such as those gizmos that I just showed you, are about 30% as well. They'll have a write-up, they have some sort of a response or an analysis. Summative assessments are exams at the end of a unit. And then finally, their participation, which they are all doing a wonderful job at, is about 10%. So just showing up and doing their part. In terms of online behavior, I am requesting that they keep their cameras on. That's primarily it's to keep me going also. When I see a response from a kid, sometimes they'll shake their head like I don't get it. Sometimes they'll nod in acknowledgement, and it helps me to know, it helps me to gauge my teaching. So I also do want to make sure that they're paying attention. Please, if you can help them limit distractions, they're doing very well, but we all know that their phone is attached to their hand at all times, my children as well. And I know that sometimes we can have something going on the side, maybe a little YouTube is happening during biology class. So again, limiting that is the best way to learn. Participating fully and asking questions. They are still a little bit quiet and they're getting more comfortable. But make sure that they realize I love talking to them and I love hearing from them. And that's part of what I miss in this situation as well. So anytime they have a question, if they can be brave enough to unmute and ask, I don't mind if they interrupt me, and I welcome any question anytime. in the last minute that I have you, how I am available to help. I have office hours every day other than Wednesday from 2 to 3, so they can just drop in, or if they have a bigger problem and they say, you know, I don't understand this entire concept, if they want to email me, I can maybe prep some materials that I can give them or that we could go over, and that might help. We also sometimes before a large quiz or test, we might have optional study sessions. So I'll say, you know, I'm going to go over this graphing concept if anyone needs help, so that they'll know about that ahead of time. And finally, email. I'm pretty quick about getting back to people via email. So please encourage them, or please you can email me anytime and I'll get back to you. At home, just remember, encourage communication, encourage them in general, because freshman year is not always easy, and this is even less easy. If they get stressed out, tell them to talk to me, tell them that, or you may reach out to me and maybe we can have a discussion and make sure that they're reassured. So anyway, I think I just ran out of time, which I always do, but please email me at any point. And thank you so much for coming, and have a great rest of your evening at all the other classes. Thank you.